Spectator Sport.
Go ahead, nigga.
Spectator Sport. We want to thank you guys for joining in again. Now we're going to talk about our NFL picks for the week. It's a lot going on in the NFL season. A lot of guys are showing a lot. I feel real confident about a lot of good teams. We got great games lined up. Let's start out with our first game, Josh. We got Washington at Carolina. Give me a little bit on that one, Josh, because I know what? Cam Newton is going to go ham.
Washington at
Harder than a mother.
Carolina. Oh, here we go. John Beck era begins in Washington, D.C. People have been calling for Rex Grossman in the media. They wanted him out. They already said he was going to be bad and he was going to lose that starting job, which he did with the 4 interceptions. Cam had a bad game last week, threw 3 picks. The Washington Redskins offensive line looking bad, but this pick here is going to be kind of difficult because, both teams just didn't look good last week, but I think Cam is going to bounce back this week. That offensive line issues, John Beck coming in, I'm going to go ahead and take the Panthers, man.
So you're taking the Panthers, Josh. I feel the same way. I like what Carolina brings to the table. They're at home. They're coming up with their 3-4 game losing streak. They've lost a few games in a row. I just like what the way they're building and what they're building. I know initially early in the season they wasn't able to incorporate their running game into their run-heavy system. Imagine that. You're in a run-heavy system and you can't run the ball. So now their running game is starting to get in there. They're starting to get real creative in their play calling. They've even incorporated the option into their play calling to get these running backs off. And that's what it takes. You got to be creative. If teams know what you're going to do, they're going to stop it unless they're the Philadelphia Eagles and they have no defense. But let's go on to the next game. Another 1 o'clock game. We have Seattle at Cleveland. This game is irrelevant. Seattle at Cleveland. I'm sorry for the folks in Cleveland and the folks in Seattle, but
That's how I feel the same. Yes, but I'll take Cleveland.
it doesn't even matter. I won't even guess on this one. Joe Hayden, I got a lot of respect for you. Colt McCoy, I like what you do. Sidney Rice, you're on my fantasy team. But you know what, man? I'm not even talking about this game. Let's talk about the next game. Atlanta at Detroit, 1 o'clock game. It's going to be at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. Got to go with the Motor City. I'm going with Detroit.
I'm going to go ahead and this is another tough game because, Detroit coming off that loss with San Francisco with Jim Schwartz and Harbaugh with the handshake. Them getting into that whole issue. I don't know if the Lions are going to come out and play even harder.
You got to love a coach that's willing to fight for you.
If
my coach is going to fight for me, I'm going to fight for him.
Exactly.
Go Detroit.
That's what I'm talking about. Then you got Atlanta, they coming off that victory, last week. It might be coming. People are saying that they're settling in, which I don't believe, but I'm going to go ahead and take Detroit because just if I heard someone say that they're settling in, you beat the Panthers. What do you mean you're settling in? They're 1-5. You're not settling in, Atlanta. Roddy White, you're my fantasy team. You're disappointing me. Step your game up or I'm trading you.
Spectator Sport.
Imagine that. Some guy with a quote-unquote fantasy league is telling you in your own occupation that he's going to trade you when it has no effect on your occupation at all. Fantasy football, you've ruined America. Thank you.
I don't think so. But Roddy, you step your game up, son.
All right, let's go on to the next game. The Tim Tebow era begins in Miami this week.
Tebow.
Denver at Miami. You know what? Miami's 0-6, 0-5? 0-6. Denver's not much better, but I got to go with Tim Tebow. I'm not a big Tebow fan, but you know what? I like what the guy brings to the table. I think the kid is just good for mankind, as they say it. I think the kid just has a lot of intangibles that he brings to the table. How many guys that's a third stringer that leads the NFL in jersey sales? Are you kidding me? You're a third stringer. What do you think? Because you're a Christian conservative, that means you should be tops in jersey sales?
Can you please don't bring this man's religion into this?
It means everything. Because you do a few missions, that means you should be starting
It's more than that,
as a
my
quarterback.
brother. It's more than that. And you can go ahead and cut it out on Tebow, man. He's great for mankind. John Gruden said it.
What type of man?
He's a great for mankind. He goes to prisons. He do surgeries.
He needs to be in prison for his throwing motion.
He's just a great guy. And like I said, Tim Tebow era begins in Denver. And like I'm gonna go ahead and take Denver in this game. Miami, you got Matt Moore, Brandon Marshall. You dropping balls. The defense is okay to me. But I just think with all the offensive issues that still looks like they're having, even though they move the ball pretty good against the Jets, I just don't think until Marshall starts making some plays, I'm going to take Tebow because, like I said, anybody can talk about Tebow all they want. I mean, people are still ragging on him about his throwing motion and this, he's not a pocket passer. But I know one thing. When Tim Tebow stepped into that game last Sunday, what did he do for the Denver Broncos when Kyle Orton couldn't do anything?
He lost.
He moved the ball. He gave them a chance to win the game. I'm so sick of these people, these analysts, let me stop and calm myself down. But these stupid analysts talking about, his throwing motion, blah, blah, blah. Yo, did you not watch the game? You don't want to admit it to yourself. The guy can play football. Moving along. That's it. I don't want to hear nothing else about his throwing motion. He gave him a chance to win, something Kyle Orton can never do. He couldn't do this whole season. Moving along.
One thing I'll say to football fans and fans alike, we're spectators. And as a spectator, you got to know the rules of engagement for the spectators. First thing, ratings are only opinions. Don't think because someone has a Madden rating, it's law, okay? It's not. It's Madden, okay? It's all opinions, buddy. Don't think because someone's opinions are facts. Okay, Tim Tebow's throwing motion is terrible. I see it, you see it, he takes forever. You know what? By the time Tim Tebow winds up, we might have been around and sold the house by then. I might have sold my house in Florida by the time Tim Tebow takes the wind up with his throwing motion. But hey, still, I would still be able, as long as this guy completes the pass, is all that matters. Let's go on to the next game. And before we go into the next game, I'll say this. I'm taking the Dolphins in the victory because you know what? Tim Tebow's
Spectator Sports.
Thank you. Let's go on to the next game. San Diego at the New York Jets, the New York Football Jets. I'm going to have to take Riri. That's Darrelle Revis for those who don't know. Yes, we call him Riri in the hood. Now, for y'all that don't know, I know a lot of you guys are not listening to the show, but when you start listening to the show and you hear me refer to Riri and his excellence at the cornerback, forget about Revis Island. Because, you know, in the hood, we use words and then we double it up. Just like Ray Ray, Day Day, Tay Tay, Deuce Deuce, Cortex, Lot, and Riri.
First of all, I'm not from the hood. And Darrelle Revis, as you're referring to, there's some fighting words in this this game here with Norv Turner and your boy Rex Ryan already. Rex Ryan's running his big mouth again about he would have run like 3 Super Bowls if he had Norv Turner's position back in 2007. So I think I'm gonna take the Chargers because the Jets' offense is horrible. As if no one's noticed, Mark Sanchez is playing terrible. He's like 30th right now in QB rating right now. Like his numbers are just bad. I mean, that team's just bad. Plaxico's he can make all the excuses he wants, but that team sucks. And I'm going to go ahead and take the Chargers in this game, and I think they're going to put it on them too.